Hello students, today we shall discuss the case studies which I discussed earlier with you. So the first case study will be on capital structure. You see the problem. Problem states that X Limited wishes to raise 10 lakhs for a project, right? And the company has three alternatives. That means how they can procure the money. Alternative one is they can procure the entire by issuing equity shares, or its second alternative is 5 lakhs by equity shares and 5 lakhs by preference shares, and the third alternative 4 lakhs by equity shares, 3 lakhs by debentures and another 3 lakhs for the long-term bank loan, and you are given the tax rate and the rate of dividend distribution tax. And we are to advise the company regarding which alternative is best suited for the company. You have to assume the rate of return is 20%. That means whatever you are investing, you are getting a return of 20%. Now, if you remember the basic theory, I told you that the alternative which having the highest EPS should be chosen. Okay. So now we go for the solution. You see the first one. There are three alternatives and we know that earning is 20% and your investment is 10 lakhs. So your EBIT is earning before interest and tax is 20% of 10 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs, 2 lakhs. Because whatever the alternative you are choosing, your total investment is 10 lakhs, right? Therefrom, we shall deduct the interest. So, in the third option, we have two interests because in first option, we have only equity shares. In second option, we have only equity shares and preference shares. So there is no interest. And the third option, we have interest and we have two interests. One is interest on debentures. One is interest on bank loan, right? So if you remember the figures, 15% on 3 lakh 45,000, 18% of 3 lakh 54,000. So we are deducting and we are getting earning before tax. So in first case it is 2 lakhs, in second case it is 2 lakhs, in third case it is 1 lakh 1,000. Now we deduct the tax rate and tax rate is given as 30.9%. So it comes to 61,800 for the first two cases and 31,209 for the third cases. So if I deduct the tax from the EBT, what I get is the earning after tax or the EAT. That is 138,200 for option 1, 138,200 for option 2 and 69,791 for alternative 3. Now in case of second alternative, you have a preference shares, right? So now you got to pay preference dividend to them. So you are paying the preference dividend. 10% on 5 lakhs come to 50,000 and you are aware of that. Once a company is paying the dividend, the company has to pay under section 115 or the dividend distribution tax, which is 20.35765%. So the company pay 50,000 as a preference dividend on which they have to pay a dividend distribution tax of 20.35765%. That comes to 10,179. So if I deduct this, what I get is 1,38,200 for option 1, 78,021 for option 2 and 69,791 for option 3. Now these are the amount available for the equity shareholders. Now it's a very interesting point is there. Please, this is very important. You must bear in mind. Suppose I have 100 to be distributed to the equity shareholders. Now, if I distribute entire 100, then where from I will distribute the dividend distribution tax? So what I'll have to do? First, I'll have to take out the dividend distribution tax and the balance can be distributed to the equity shareholders. So that on the amount distributed, if I add the dividend distribution tax, it equals to 100. Right? So in the same fashion, so I am providing the dividend distribution tax on equity dividend, which is A. A means the figure you got after deducting the preference dividend. So A into 20.35765 divided by 120.35765. And you may ask why this is so. because this is after tax. Once again, I am giving a parallel example. Suppose I am to distribute 120 to the equity shareholders, right? Now, for simplicity purpose, I assume 20% as the dividend distribution tax. So now, if I deduct 20 by 120, 1/6, out of 120 I deduct 1/6. So how much left? 100. So if I distribute 100, on which I pay tax on 20, it comes to 120, right? So in the same fashion, this is something like that of, if you remember your commission to manager after charging, the same concept are using here. So the DDT comes to 23376 13197 11805. So if I deduct it, what I get, it is the earning available to equity shareholders. That means this part you can distribute to the equity shareholders. Now, in the three cases, there are different number of equity shareholders, because if you see, in first case, the equity shares 10 lakhs divided by 10, 1 lakh. Second case, 5 lakh divided by 10, 50,000. In third case, 4 lakh divided by 10, 40,000. So, this is divided by 1 lakh, 50,000 and 40,000. And you know that EPS is the earning available to equity shareholders divided by equity shares. So, what we get is EPS 1.15, 1.30, 1.45. So now you can easily say which one is the best. It is the alternative 3, because that gives me the highest EPS, that is 1.45. Am I clear? Now this problem may be given in a different way. Suppose you are given the profit earning ratio. So what you can do, you can multiply EPS by the profit earning ratio and you can get the market price per share. So the option having the highest market price per share can be taken as the option. Now, the second case study is dividend versus bonus issue. In simple term, a company has two options, right? One, they can pay dividend to the equity shareholders, or they can issue bonus shares to the equity shareholders. Now, you are to advise the company. Now, see the case study, that the share capital of P Limited, they got 8% pref share capital of 3 lakhs and equity share capital of 10 lakhs, right? Now, the company has the following options. What are the options? To declare dividend at the rate of 60%. So, when I say to declare dividend at the rate of 60%, what I mean is, it's the dividend on the equity shares, because preference shares dividend is fixed at 8%. Or the company has a second option, they can issue bonus shares at the rate of 1 share for every 5 shares held to both equity and preference shareholders. Now, what are the basic theories? I discussed with you while I discussed the module 19, that when you pay dividend, you got to pay the dividend distribution tax. And when a company is issuing bonus, so if you issue bonus to the equity shareholders, it doesn't have any tax implication. Why there is no tax implication? Because if you read the section 222A, you will find that it entails a release of assets. But in case of bonus share, there is no release of asset, right? Am I clear to you or not? Because in case of bonus, what happens? You are declaring bonus out of your reserve. So basically, if I go for the accounting entry, it is the general reserve debit to bonus to equity shareholders, and then bonus to equity shareholders account debit to equity share capital. So this is a capitalization of the reserve. Your reserve get decreased, your capital get increased. So there is no release of the assets, and hence there is no taxability. But interestingly, if a company issue bonus shares to the preference shareholders, we have a specific section 222B. It states it's a deemed dividend. And in case of a deemed dividend under section 222B, the company has to pay the dividend distribution tax, right? So now we shall try to understand that what are the implications in case of a declaration of dividend or issue of bonus shares. So please see the solution. Now, in how much the total dividend payable? The company has to pay dividend on the preference shares dividend first, because you know that before equity dividend is declared, a company has to pay preference dividend. So it is 8% on 3 lakh or 24,000, and equity dividend is 60% of 10 lakhs, like 6,24,000. So total dividend payable by the company is 6,24,000. So how much DDT payable by the company? 6,24,000 into, you know the rate already, 20.35765%, and it comes to 1,27,032. Am I clear? So the outflow of the company, just think it of, the outflow of the company will be the dividend 6,24,000 plus the DDT 1,27,032, right? So it comes to almost 7,51,032. Now think of the second option. Bonus to equity shareholders, it doesn't have any tax implication. I told you the reason very clearly, that since there is no release of assets, so it's not a deemed dividend. But in case of bonus to preferred shareholders, 20% comes to, how 20% comes? 1 share for every 5 share sale. So if a shareholder holds 5 shares, the shareholder will get 1 share. So 1 by 5 comes to 20%. So total bonus issue by the company will be 3 lakh into 20% or 60,000. But that will be treated as deemed dividend under section 222B. And since it is a deemed dividend under section 222B, the company has to pay the dividend distribution tax. So it comes to 60,000 into 20.35765% or 12215. So here the outflow of the company is simply 12215. So definitely you can understand that the company should go for bonus issue, because they have to dish out much lower amount of money. Earlier one, the figure was 7,51,032. So now it is 12,215. However, there are several other options. Please don't get the things in that way. That always then one may raise a question. Then each year the company may go for the bonus issue. But you will appreciate bonus depends on the volume of your reserve you have. So that is not a regular one. And a company has to declare dividend. No way of that. But this is for a case study that in a year, if there are two options, what option the company should do.